Hiccup's Wing Gliders is a multi-launch roller coaster in Universal's new Epic universe. This is one of the better family coasters out there because of how well it's integrated into the park's How to Train Your Dragon area. I will explain what makes this ride so great in this review. Epic Universe opened in 2025 as the newest theme park at the Universal Orlando Resort. This park features 5 themed lands, with one of the largest being Isle of Berk. This is a How to Train Your Dragon area. It is a beautiful area between the landscaping, architecture, and dragon animatronics, and there is so much kinetic energy with all the themed attractions cycling adjacent to the midway. The poster child for this is Hiccup's Wing Gliders. This is an Intamin multi-launch coaster. This manufacturer has recently provided several launch coasters for Universal. Don't expect the intensity of Velocicoaster though. This rides much closer to Hagrid's Magical Creatures motorbike adventure in terms of the overall thrill level. Hiccup's Wing Gliders is intricately woven through the land, traveling over and under pathways. The first half is so picturesque. I particularly love the sequence above the water. Much of the second half is hidden from view though, because it travels behind the land alongside an employee parking lot. This part can take you out of the immersion a bit, but is a relatively minor critique. The coaster features black track much like Curse the Werewolf. Like that ride, Hiccup's Wing Gliders also has nets around the track, but these are much less ugly than those on Curse the Werewolf. There, they are on the whole layout on all sides. On Hiccup, they are only on the bottom of the track and the portions that pass directly over guest areas, so they don't obstruct most angles. The entrance looks great, as you enter through a hut with a large dragon head protruding from it. The entry sign is weirdly small and nondescript though, so this ride can be a bit hard to locate for first-time visitors. Most of the queue does not much to look at. It is a seemingly never-ending series of unthemed switchbacks. Towards the end of the queue, you will encounter a free bank of lockers. Whereas Universal's larger thrill coasters have extremely strict loose article policies, it is much more lax with Hiccup. All bags must go in lockers. Everything else can stay with you, as long as secured in a pocket, but you of course can put your phone, wallet, keys, or anything else in a locker if you'd prefer that. As with many Universal coasters, this ride has a very high throughput. I believe it runs 4 or 5 trains at once. Each train accommodates a max of 20 riders, as there are 5 cars with 2 rows of 2, and because of the dual load platform, they often hit the minimum dispatch interval, allowing the line to move at a steady pace. You still could have to wait a long time for this coaster though, due to its popularity. This coaster is a low minimum height requirement, meaning families can ride it together, but it does enough to attract adults as well. As a result, this ride's wait usually hovers around the 45 to 90 minute mark. The longest waits tend to occur midday. For the shortest waits, the best times to experience this attraction are at the start and end of the day. Isle of Berk is not part of early entry. If you arrive during the first half hour of normal operations, the wait is usually 15 to 20 minutes max. Then if you return during the final hour, wait times are similarly low. Another way to bypass the wait is to use the Express Pass. This is an expensive skip-the-line pass, but you are routed directly to the lockers, skipping all those switchbacks. This coaster is occasionally offered a single rider line, but is used very infrequently, so I would not rely on it being available. After the lockers, you have just 5 minutes left to queue. You are routed to the center of the dual load platform. You are then assigned a row. If you have a preference, they will take row requests. I didn't think seat mattered tremendously with this one, but I thought the back was a smidge better for the whip on a few drops. I have ridden several Intamin coasters through the years, but I believe these Restraints are a new design. I found them okay, not great, but they can be rather uncomfortable specifically for larger guests. You have a U-shaped lap bar, but there's a very pronounced nub in the center by your crotch. While the crew will not push the restraints down super hard, they will lower on their own throughout the experience, so they can place a lot of pressure on your thighs and crotch depending upon your body dimensions. On top of that, you also have shin guards. These were no issue for me, but taller riders may feel cramped. One aspect I love about the trains is the onboard audio. This is a lovely musical score that carries throughout the attraction, and it is also paired with some narration that helps drive the story forwards. The premise is that you step aboard a winged glider designed by Hiccup. This will allow you to fly through Berk alongside Hiccup and Toothless. Once dispatched, you turn and travel over a small, slightly outer banked bunny hump. No force, but it gives the ride some pizzazz. It sort of feels like an RMC pre-lift. You then turn right into a wooden hut. On the right, you have an awesome looking toothless animatronic. You hear over the audio that Hiccup is trying to install the wings, but Toothless gets excited, hits a button too early, causing you to launch into the first half. This coaster's launches are the best parts in my opinion. I love uphill launches. They always seem to have more power than usual. The awesome launch here has nice punch to it, especially for a family coaster. The first part feels like a triple down. It starts with a bank drop to the right. This offers okay laterals in the front as you're pushed into it. Indecent snap in the rear rows as you're pulled downwards. Then you have a minor speed hump. This doesn't do too much. Then you have a bank drop left back down to ground level. This too is a little whip in the back. You then glide over a large bunny hill. This offers a hint of weightlessness, but not true airtime. Further, you will not get any negative Gs anywhere on this coaster. The ride comes about as close to offering airtime on a few hills without actually doing so. It's a similar feeling to Big Bear Mountain at Dollywood or some of the other newer Vekoma family coasters. Next is a fun S-bend above the water. Light snaps, but it's more about the visuals. I love gliding above the water. You then have a quick curve drop underneath a bridge. When you emerge, you have a helix. This offers solid sustained Gs. It is the ride's most forceful element in my opinion. You then curve right into a brake run and decelerate. You find yourself in a gronkle nest. You see eggs all around you, which is hazardous because gronkle eggs explode whenever they hatch. You roll forwards like you're about to launch, but you only make it halfway up the hill before rolling back. I honestly thought the coaster faulted in my first ride, but this is very much deliberate. When you return to the gronkle nest, they have started to hatch. It's a show scene. Steam geysers start to burst, and then you fully launch forwards. It feels similar to the first in terms of power, which is a good thing, as this once again is uphill. You have a bank drop right. This offers weak laterals at the top for all. Then those in the rear rows get a decent whip downwards. And it's visually cool because it passes through the bleachers for the Dragons Racers Rally attraction. You then have back-to-back bunny hills. The first continues the visuals of the prior hill, shooting through the bleachers. The second offers a clear view of the aforementioned backstage area, but it has a fun double down on the other side at least. The train then navigates a banked turn. This is sharply banked for a family coaster, and it offers okay Gs as well. Afterwards, you have a tight rightward turn into the brakes. This offers good snap and solid Gs. It is the most forceful element in the second half. You then hit the brakes and return to the station, ending the experience. This ride is good duration. I have not seen an official track length for this coaster, but I would estimate it to be roughly 3,000 feet, or 914 meters in length. And it also has nice pacing, especially for a ride of this scale. You move through the layout at a good clip. The only times you slow down are deliberate during the launch sequences, so I was fully engaged start to finish. Then this ride is very smooth. This is pretty typical with Intamin rides, especially their family coasters. What would I rate Hiccup's wing gliders? I would give this coaster an 8 out of 10. This is a great family coaster. It has genuinely punchy launches, bursts of positive Gs, and most importantly, awesome visuals. Again, I love how this coaster is worked into the land. I wish it actually offered some airtime like some other family coasters, but it does everything else I could want from a ride of this scale. I think this is Universal's best pure family coaster. Hagrid's is a better ride, but that ride has a 48-inch height requirement. I typically think of family coasters having 42-inch or lower height requirements, since that allows kids to experience them a few years earlier. Hiccups has a 40-inch height requirement, while offering a delightful experience that can be enjoyed by all ages. Those are my thoughts on Hiccup's wing gliders at Epic Universe. What are your thoughts on this coaster? Do you agree it's Universal's best family coaster? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.